What it do, baby? What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Kappa167 bringing you another build video. And in this one, this is going to be the Heartbreaker, or how I like to call it, the Heartbroken build video. Alright, I'm going to show you two different builds, and I'm going to show you the numbers, but then I'm going to tell you which way to run it. Alright, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Solid FPS who ran this build on his stream today after I ran mine, and he kind of showed me a different way and showed me the number on which way it was going to give us more total DPS. All right, the highest total DPS at the end, and we're going to break down these two builds together. All right, but on my stream today, I went ahead and I broke down and I showed you this build right here, right? The Heartbreaker with Seska and Fox Prayer. This way. Now, as far as the specialization, we are running the obviously technician class because we want that laser pointer, right? Now, the gun you're going to want to use, it goes without saying, is Kingbreaker. I personally like using the Police M4. I like the burst damage on it, but with Heartbreaker, Heartbroken, whichever one you want to call it, Kingbreaker is the way to go. Okay, this is how you're going to maximize your DPS. All right, so we have the Kingbreaker, and then as far as the mods, we have crit chance, we have 20 more rounds, we have the laser pointer, and we have more crit chance on there. All right, so that's how you're going to want to run your Kingbreaker. Then we have the rock and roll. The purpose of the rock and roll is so that way you can get to max stats quicker. If you play with this gear set, you're going to see that it takes a while for you to get to max stats. Matter of fact, sometimes it takes even a while to even get halfway there. So if you start off, you're going to see you're going to use the rock and roll, then you will switch over to your AK, and then you're going to start doing that big juicy over 2 million damage. All right, so with the rock and roll, I have crit chance and I have the laser pointer. This is just so I can get to max stacks. That's all I'm using this for, and then I'm switching over back to my AK. All right, going down to the mask, obviously Heartbreaker. The mask is going to have weapon damage and crit hit damage with the crit hit damage mod. We have the Seska backpack, the Seska backpack with 15 weapon damage, crit chance maxed out, crit damage maxed out, and crit damage mod. The chest piece, yes, we're running the chest piece. We're going to have weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage mod. Gloves, weapon damage, crit chance, and holster, weapon damage, crit chance. Now, for those that want to run it with the Fox Prayer, obviously Fox Prayer comes with crit damage. Okay, so this is how you're going to want to utilize this build if you're going to run the Fox Prayer, right? Revive Hive and Shield. All right, as far as pistols, hey, this is just there to make it look cute, right? So let's take a look at the numbers that you're able to get with Fox Prayers before I switch two pieces and then tell you that that way is going to be way better. All right, so as we come over here, so right now what we're going to do is we're going to build our stacks up with the rock and roll. So once that's done, we switch over. As you can see, in the left hand side, 2.4 million. As you can see, my round hit for 2.4 million on health, okay, and over 2 million on armor, right? So as you can see that. So if you run it with Fox Prayer, you're gonna see that number right there, that 2.4, right? That's great. We like that. We like to see big juicy numbers. Now let me show you a different way to run the build. Now here you're going to switch two pieces. You're going to put a Heartbreaker set on your knee pads, right? And you're going to ensure that it has crit chance. Then you're going to go over to the holster and you're going to insert Fenris. So now you're going to run it with Seska and Fenris and still 4 pieces of Heartbreaker. 3 of them having crit chance and 1 piece having crit damage. Okay, so 3 pieces with crit chance and one piece with crit damage, and then crit damage mods all around. Okay, now let's take a look at the number that you get running it this way. So as you can see, I got 2.31, right? 2.3 vice 2.4. Now, once again, you're going to tell me, oh, Capo, Fox Prayers hits way harder. Number-wise, it looks that way, but it will not. So here I'm going to show you why you're going to want to run it with Fenris. So if you look here, this is the math here on crit damage, right? How crit works. This is the equation. So running it with Fenris, you're going to have 60% crit chance with 117% crit damage, okay? Which is going to give you this number right here. You multiply it by 50 because that's the amount of rounds in a magazine. And this is going to be your total damage right there, right? It's going to be like an 85K difference. Now, down here, if you run it with Fox Prayers, you're going to have 54 because you're giving up that 6%, right? Fox Prayers don't have crit chance in there. So you're giving up that 6% crit chance. So now you're going to be at 54 with 117. And as you can see, the number is lower, right? This is the equation. I multiply it by 50 to rounds, 85.1, 81.5. Okay? Now, if you want to run, you might have that question and you want to run and say, hey, how about I just add crit damage vice crit chance? Well, you still don't want to do that because as you can see, I put crit damage on the knee pads. On the knee pads and kept the holster, right? So instead of the knee pads having crit chance, I gave it crit damage. So that's why it has 12 more. Still lower. And vice versa. I did it with the Fox Prayers. I added the crit damage, vice the crit chance, and it's even at its lowest. So you're still saying, yeah, but the number looks higher. But the crit chance at 60% with 117 will compensate for that difference, okay? For that difference between the 2.4 and 2.3, and actually will push it over that 2.4, okay? So with this equation right here that I'm showing you, that one up top is going to push that 2.3 a whole lot higher as far as the end in total DPS. So as we go back and we take a look at the build, this is exactly how you would want to run it. Now, a lot of people also ask me, hey, Capo, but what about running the Memento backpack? HeartBreaker is kind of like Memento backpack is good. You get more survivability, and yes, you get 30% more weapon damage based off the stacks. But the problem with Memento is you're not going to get the crit chance. So you're giving up 6% crit chance, number one. Then based off of Seska, you're going to give up another 10% because that's the brand bonus. So it's essentially you're giving up 16% crit chance and another 12% crit damage. Now you can add the mod there, but as you can see, there's no attributes, right? So if we go back, all right, and let's say we add this right here. We just go to our equation right here, and we just add it there. Removing the Seska will give us 44% crit chance. And then we have to take away 12 because we don't have that core attribute, right? So now it would be 0.5. Definitely not worth it, right? Excuse me, let's back that up. And that's with the Memento backpack. Now, I know what you're going to say. Oh, but the 30% weapon damage that we get, you have to work your way up to there. You're not going to get that at the beginning. Straight up from the beginning, you're not going to have that 30%. Or at max, that 60%, right? Because that's what Memento is able to give you. You're not going to have that. That's going to come within time. Now, I do understand, once again, that Memento is going to give you that bonus armor. It's going to give you a little bit more survivability, but I still don't think that it's worth it. But if you enjoy wearing it, go right ahead. Hey, do you think you feel more comfortable and it helps you get through the missions? Go right ahead. But I personally would not recommend it. As you can see, the numbers kind of back that up, right? So I would keep the Seska backpack and a Fenris piece. Now, the same thing applies if you're going to utilize an LMG build, right? If you're going to say, hey, I don't want to run the AR, I don't want to do that, can I run an LMG with this? You absolutely can. All you would have to do is remove the Fenris and add a Petrov. All right? Add a Petrov holster, and then at that moment, you'll have the same amount of crit chance and crit damage, and then you can go ahead and start, run that LMG with HeartBreaker. Now, real quick, let's take a look at those stats real quick. As you can see, 60% crit chance, 117% crit damage. You're going to get that 75% headshot damage, but, personally, HeartBreaker, it's very, very friendly for those that really can't hit those headshots. This is a very, very body shot friendly build, right? So you don't have to hit those headshots. If you do, kudos if you could do it. But I know for my peoples, my brethren over on the console side, it's a little bit more difficult for you guys to hit that headshot with, controller. But for us PC guys, it's definitely a whole lot easier to get that headshot. So we have this 75% headshot damage, 21% health damage. That comes with the AR. If you're going to run the LMG, you're going to have the 6% armor damage because you're going to put damage to armor on your LMG if you prefer to run it that way. Let me pull that up for you guys. You go infantry MG5. Obviously, you would put FLATLINE there if you want. If not, the Dare is definitely a good option because it comes with perfect FLATLINE. So if you're going to run an LMG, the Dare is a good option. If you like the GR9 and the Dare are basically the same gun. As you can see, they have 40k as their base damage, 40k, and they both come with a 200 round mag. With this, I have the extra mag, so that's why you see 235. But the Dare, I don't have the extra mag. I decided to run a little bit more crit hit damage on there because it's a 200 rounds. Like 200 rounds is more than enough, right? So, but that would be it. Those are some of your options if you want to run the LMG. Infantry MG5 burst damage is beautiful. It has a higher base damage, obviously, than these two, and it has a higher RPM. So if you want to go ahead and put FLATLINE as your talent, vice over fast hands, you can do so, but understand that your reload speed is going to be like very slow. As you can see, it's a 4.5 second reload, okay? And then for the Dare and the GR9 is a 3.7, all right? But if you want to run LMG, these are the 3 LMGs that I would recommend you guys run if you're going to run it with the HeartBreaker set. Also, with LMG, you're going to switch your specializations out. You're going to put the gunner class on there. Thing about the LMG is you won't be able to run the laser pointer on them. So let's take a look at that real quick. Excuse me. So if you say you want to run the Dare, right? You try to look. You cannot put the technician laser pointer on there, right? But I went ahead and put the crit chance. But if you run the gunner set, okay, you run the gunner set, I think you'll be better off running that with this build, vice the technician, and then you're just gonna have to hit those headshots, right? You just, as long as you hit them one time in the head, and then start doing everything else that you can. Or as you can see in this build, you just go ahead, prep with the rock and roll, put that pulse on them, switch to your LMG, and just have at it. And just make sure every 5 seconds you try to get one headshot in there, and you should be good to go. Oh, and there you have it. This is the Heartbreaker build, or how I like to call it, the Heartbroken build. Hope this helps you out. Please be sure to check me out on Twitch. The link will be in the description with the times that I'll be live. You never know, I could be live right now and answering any and all your questions that you have. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Please smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Stay up to date with all my upcoming build videos here on YouTube. And once again, I want to give a shout out to my guy, Solid FPS, for showing this build to me earlier today while he was streaming and kind of said, hey, you know what, Capo, you're kind of running this wrong. Don't run it with the Fox Prayers. Run it with the Fenris so that way you can get more damage. I'll leave the link to his channel, his Twitch and YouTube channel in the description. Make sure you go by, check him out, hit him with a sub, or even follow over on his channel. Let him know Capo sent you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and the gameplay. Have a good one, fam. I'm out.
We need you to secure the memorial and remove the True Sons' forces. If they maintain this outpost, the True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
Gotta move!
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.
Hell of a day for a search party.
All clear. I repeat, the compound is all clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check the interior while I get Henry's people to maintain the perimeter.
Sounded like movement. I'll finish that eight.
Damn it. The True Sons have turned the memorial into a base. There's an area beneath you with increased security. Isaac can't access data on this location. Stay alert. I don't know what you're walking into. according to the schematics Isaac pulled upstairs, we can lock that tunnel door from their control center. That should keep them from being able to transport those mortars loaded with DC-52. That should keep them from getting more of those mortars.
You think closing the tunnel was smart? Fuck you! You slot yourself in with us. I'll make sure you rot down here.
Good work. Go on and head back up. The team from the campus is taking position inside the memorial.
If you hadn't stopped them, I know they would have used those weapons on us, and we would have ended up like Castle. I can't tell you how relieved I am to have you on our side. Thank you.
Today, we dealt a great blow to the True Sons' infrastructure. We confiscated a massive cache of chemical weapons and eliminated their stronghold near the campus. You should be proud. You saved a lot of lives today.